Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing plus xv, probably minus 2, dash 2. It makes sense to be minus given the plus at the beginning. Now, you may remember like a little while ago, I'm going to say like roughly a couple of months ago, maybe even longer, we played this fantastic xv puzzle from NurglesGift. And we all agreed that we should actually play a lot more of these particular puzzles. They play absolutely fantastic, like the Colorado series, which some of you may have seen me play here on this channel. Now, I did try to feature more of NurglesGift puzzles, but the challenges, they're usually 2-star, 3-star, and quite difficult puzzles. So I am taking a bit of a gamble here. Let's call it being rogue by trying to feature a 2-star difficulty rated puzzle on a weekday, Friday nonetheless. Now, I guess kind of the comforting thought in my mind is if it is a bit harder than you guys might expect, you do have the weekend to just give this a bit more of time, if that's what's required to solve it. And you can see Sleuth here is, I guess, being a bit of a rogue again. He's inside some kind of Roman temple, presumably, unrolling a scroll, rather than sort of being very respectful and careful about it, and trying to decode whatever the message is that's behind it. Anyhow, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with plus xv, I'll read it both ways, dash 2 by NurglesGift, and the following set of rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. That means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Then we have cells connected by an X must sum up to 10. So if this cell is a 2, this would have to be an 8 to make sure that these two cells add up to 10. Cells connected by a V must sum up to 5. So if this is a 2, this would have to be a 3 to make sure that these two cells connected by a V sum up to 5. Now the emphasis here is all X's and V's are given. So I cannot place a 2 in here. I mean, admittedly, that would repeat the 8 there. That's one obvious reason. But these two would add up to 10, and I do not have an X between them. That doesn't work. I cannot place a 3 in here. That would add them up to 5, and without a V, that doesn't work either. So negative constraints definitely apply for the X's and V's. Then we have cells connected by a black dot must be in a 1 to 2 ratio. So if that's a 2, this would have to be 1 or 4, so that essentially one cell is double the other. And cells connected by a white dot must be consecutive. So if that's a 2, this would have to be 1 or 3 to make sure they do actually, they are indeed consecutive. Now, NurglesGift doesn't mention that the black crop key dots can't be that negative constraint. He hasn't commented about it. She, not actually sure. So I'm going to assume that 4 and 2 without a black dot is fine, and 3 and 2 without a white dot is fine. So negative constraints do not apply, at least for the crop key dots. That's all the rules we have for today. So, as always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. With that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. And like in general, you can see there's almost like gravity of clues kind of leading you towards box 4, which you can immediately place a digit, the 5. Essentially, if you have a 10, one of them will be a low digit, one of them will be a high digit. Can't have a 5. It would require a double 5 to get to 10. With the V's, can't have a 5 either because its partner would have to be a 0. So neither of which are allowed. So 5 can only be in here. Okay, right, we're going to start coloring. Right, so the way to think about V's first is that it can only be made up of, let's say, 1, 4, come on, Sleuth, 1, 4, or 2, 3. So they can come in different colors. Obviously, I don't know which one is 1, 4 and which one is 2, 3, but we can use different colors. Now, I know that these two are different colors for a few reasons. First off, if they are 1, 4, although technically I could do like some kind of X-wing, like a 1 and a 4, but obviously I create a 5 in the column without a V, and that is against the negative constraints that we have. All X's and V's are given. So I know that they have to be different. And therefore I can color one as blue and one of them as green, whichever one is which. Two blues means that this is a green-red one and this is a blue-red one. And I know that because tens are always made up of a low digit, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a high digit, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I make a consistent use of red as the high digit, that will be good enough probably for now. Right. This can't be a green-red one for the exact same reason. So if this is 2, 3, essentially, if we go with 2 and 8, well, the 2 clearly can't be this cell because otherwise it would be repeating in Sudoku. And if it is and this is 2, that would be adding up to 5. So this has to be a blue-red. And therefore, this would have to be green. This would have to be red. This is clearly the red digit, as in the high digit, because these two are low, so this is red. Now I need a second blue in row 6, which has to be in here, because I've already got 2 of them. So that's red. Don't know what this is. Don't know what this is. I do know what this is, because I've already got 1 blue in here. In fact, the second blue is just there. Excuse me. One of these is 5, but it's not hugely useful. Kind of starting to think maybe, I mean, I could add another color. Like I know that these are going to be different because I've got 2 of them looking at this cell, so they can't be the same color, but I really don't particularly like the idea of using more colors just yet. So I am going to see if the letters are going to help me. Now, the way to think about the way I do the lettering is, and I'm sure many of you have seen me do this before, it almost doesn't matter what the letters are. Just think of it as algebra. As long as the letters are consistent in terms of what the partners are, so A partners with D to add up to 5, D partners with F to add up to 10, as long as I'm consistent, it actually doesn't really matter. Right, that does mean that this is not A, so this is D and F. This can't be blue, otherwise we've got too many. And this is the blue. Then in here, I'm going to pick at random again. This is B, this is C. This D is, of course, making this an A, making this an I. This can't be B and H. This will be CG and then repeated in this cell, CG. That means this is going to give us what this cell is, because that can only be an H, and the partner of H is B. So that's B, that's C. This has to be blue. Because this can't be I, we've already got it. That's F, that's D, that's A. And this is green. This is a known digit. It's not H, it's G, C, and B. And this is another D. This is going to be blue, red. And it can't be DF, otherwise we'd end up with 3 of them in the column. So it has to be A and I. And that gives us colors again. This is also A and I. You could see that I is up here, just not hugely helpful. So in here, what am I missing? I am missing G, which can't be in these 2 cells. That's G. And then I am missing H and... Sorry, sometimes it takes me a second to see some things. So that's 1 high letter. Oh, 5, of course. So 5 and H. That's high. This is green. I can't have... No, I can have H here next to the C. It's not a problem. In fact, no pressure on either of them. Then up there we need I and the other large letter, H and I. Oh, come on, I can type, surely. There you go. And that is... No, not H. I've already used H. B. So there is a bit of pressure in the sense that the B Can't be next to H because there's no X, but that's all we can see at the moment. And these are known. I don't know how useful this is. No, I mean, since we're here, we may as well pencil mark it, actually. A, B, C, D is gone. 5 is available. F is available. H is available. Okay. In the column, so this is actually CG. Kind of hard to see, but obviously it's not AI. It's not DF. If this is B and H, whilst it may seem okay, what it would force is I and 5 here, but then B and H would be together, and then there is no X. So this is CG. This is BH, because we've actually got all of the other low letters done. So these are green-red. Therefore, this is blue-red. Interestingly, I mean, it can't be DF because we've already got F. So this is AI. But I was actually just noticing that the D and A, they're both forced in here. But one of them is inside the 10. But notice there is no V here. So because this has to be the D, this has to be the A, and this has to be the I. And this is another 5, which means this is H, this is 5, and if this is not B, this is I, this is B, and therefore this is B, which gives me C and B over here. We'll use that in a second, but let me just tidy up. How am I struggling to color so much? And this is not N. Is that just a horrific typo? Maybe. Anyway, that's that. And yeah. And more tidy ups. Right, that looks roughly correct to me. I'm just going to double check it all again. Because, you know, these early mistakes will just cost you the game, basically. You're not going to be able to solve it if you've made the wrong type to begin with so early. This can't be H next to B. That's it, really, in terms of restrictions. Okay. Where do we go from here? I mean, I guess column 2 is nearly done. There's another DNF plus something else, a 5, of course. And the 5 is literally where my cursor is. That's 5, because that couldn't have been it. And this is DNF, not C. Don't know which one's which just yet. So this is not C. This is not DF. It's either AI or BH. And at the moment, both seem to work. In fact, A, Sudoku says, is definitely inside here. And that I says, that's I, that's A. Don't know what this is. C down here gave me the G, C, G. Still don't know these. So I still need a C, which you can see is somewhere in here. B is not in any of these cells, so that's B. That's H, that's B. That can't be C, otherwise it would require a 5, a V. So that's G, that's C. And again, quick tidy up. Places a B down here, you can see, just with Sudoku. No B's, no B's, no B's, no B's. We might be able to do something with C. One of these two is a C. Still don't know what this is. So there's another DF, which isn't here. There's a C, which isn't there either. So this is whatever is left, that's H. Then C is on here with either D or F. C can't be next to the B, so that's the C. And then this is D or F. Now, intuitively, if you think about it, both could work. You know, so D, for example, let's just give some concrete examples here. Could be 3. No. Could be 4. What am I trying to say? Could be 2, and then F would be 8, and then C could be 4, for example. So it works either way, and then C could be 1, D could be 2, and then that could be D. So we don't actually know just yet which one it is. Interesting. That C says that's not C, that is C. Should be probably able to place them all now, can't we? Yeah, that's C. I'm actually going to just have a look around, see if I can place everything. So D is not at the bottom, otherwise it would require a V. This is not a D. D is in one of these two cells. D is none of these. D is in here. And then D, well, it can't be this cell, again, because it would require a V. And it can't be any of these for Sudoku, so it's one of these two. Excuse me. Okay, and A, surely we can do a bit better. Well, we know this is A and 5, so pencil mark. A and I. A is not here. So in kind of these 3 boxes, A is there, A is here, just Sudoku, and it can't be there because of the negative constraint. So obviously this can't be A, otherwise I could end up with 2 in the same column. So that's 5, that's A. Doesn't put any pressure on D, so not able to resolve these. I can say this is not 5. No pressure on F and H. No, no. Okay. So essentially I have 2 more 5 FHs, and then I need an I, which can't be here. In fact, I has to be up there. No, I can't place it yet. Done all the low digits. A, I did say, is one of these 2 cells. So that's kind of at least all the low digits corner pencil marks. I'm just going to have to go back to a bit of Sudoku to help me here. So I need B and something. Well, sorry, H and something. So the H can't be next to the B. So that's the H. This is a high letter of some sort, not I, G, or H. That's F. These 3 are known. They include a 5. They include G and they include I. This is not I. No real pressure. You see, G would interact with C, which is far away. I would interact with A, which I've already used. And 5 interacts with nothing. Okay. Right, this is probably where it's starting to become a bit more like a 2-star difficulty rated puzzle. So down here we need a second DF and something else. An H. And I am going to pencil mark. In fact, this is not D or F. That's F, and D can't be here because it would require a V. So this is the DF, and this is, what did I say it was? H, wasn't it? And then on this side, we need another DF5. And G, isn't it? But they seem fine. I mean, aside from the fact that D can't be here or there, it seems like the rest of them I can place them wherever I want. H is in one of these two cells. Can't be next to the B, so that's H. We already removed the H from here. So H can only be there, just with Sudoku. I can actually select the correct ones. So that's H. That can't be H, therefore. This is H. Either can still be 5 or F. And then suddenly H's are done. There's 9 of them. Okay. Can I do something similar with G, possibly? No G. No G. No G. Then any of the rest of them can be. Then up here, no G in any of these. No G because of Sudoku. That's G. So G is somewhere in these 3 cells, specifically one of these 2 because it can't be next to C. Yeah, I did that correct. Can't be these. Can't be that. Yeah. And Sudoku says none of these or this. Yep. So G is in here. And then G can be in any of these 3. This is not helpful. Am I missing something? The answer to that is usually yes. You know, when you get this far and it's starting to become a bit sluggish, the answer is almost always yes. So in the row, this would be D or F. Now I'm fairly sure they're not interacting with any of their neighbors. Then in here, I have another D or F with what must be an I. And it almost doesn't matter where the I is. D is never going to be connected to an I because D is a small letter, small digit 1, 2, 3, 4, and I is 6, 7, 8, 9. So that cannot be D. Is the long and short of it is. That's F, that's D. That's F, that's D. That's much better. That's D. And then in here it's I and F in some order. Don't know what it is yet. That's not D. That is. And that, I believe, is all the Ds. Nearly with all the A's. We'll probably get it if I just paid attention. So this is 5, F, or I. It seems to be allowed for all of them. This is 5 or G. Seems again allowed. 5 Fi, wasn't it? Just complete the column. 5GI, 5GI. Can't be I. 5G and 5G. The fact that this is... What I normally like to do in these puzzles, if I can, I don't know if I can, is to actually complete all the letters and then use the additional clues we've been given to try and solve it. So I'm trying to avoid that, but I may have to. May actually need to. 5G and I is not G, it's 5 or I, but again, all of which is allowed. So G is one of these. So what do we have in here? A 5FI. This could be A, seemingly could be 5, seemingly could be F, seemingly could be I, which is a bit silly now. Not really seeing the negative constraint that's making this less silly. A 5GFI. That's not F, because it's next to, oh, I did say F, not 5, next to D. Which gives me a 5I pair, which means this is G. That's not G. This can't be 5 or I. So these two are A and F, just to complete the box. And then A and F is not actually doing anything for me there. If this is A, that can't be I, otherwise it breaks this cell. So that would be I. If this is A, that couldn't be its neighbor, that would be I. So it's not really helping me. No, it isn't. How are we doing for time? 23 minutes. So I'm actually recording this on the morning I'm planning to post it. So it's going to be a little bit late, unfortunately, but... Oh, gee, come on. 5. No 5s. And that is helpful because... G, I can't be next to A, so that's G, that's I, that's 5, that's G, that's 5, that's I, can't be A, that's F, that's A, that's I, that's F, that's 5, that's F, and that's I. Lovely. Right. Sorry, that last bit at the end there was clearly way slower than it needed to be. And just, you know, completionist. I think that's everything colored. Right, what is it telling us? It's telling us that these are in a 2-to-1 ratio and then an I is consecutive. I belongs with A. So essentially, you know, because this is a high digit and this is a double, this is 3 or 4, meaning that B would be 1 or 2 to add up to 5. Now, when this is the higher digit, 3 or 4, therefore this would have to be 6 or 8. And if this is 6 or 8, unfortunately this could be anything. But if it's 6 or 8, what it's saying is D is 6 or 8 to add up to 10, 2 or 3. I think that is forced. Isn't it? Yeah, if this is 6 or 8 and this is adding up to 10, no, it's 4 or 2. So we're saying if this is 4, this is 6, this is 3, and this would be 1, but then that would break, wouldn't it? Because this would be... I've forgotten what I've said already. So if this is 4, that's 6. Excuse me, that's 3. If this is 6, well, that would be 7, implying this is 3 again. I think it's easier shown than described. 4 makes this 6, makes this 3. And then this would be 6. And then because it's consecutive, this would be 7. And then I'm saying this is 7, and then this is 3 to add up to 10. So this is not the one we're after. This is the one we're after, where F is 8. And therefore D is 2. And therefore C is 4. and therefore A is, well, its counterpart, 3, I is 7, B is, well, hang on, yeah, 1, and then its counterpart is 9, and then G obviously has to be 6 to make it all work. There's our answer. It's another beautiful puzzle, NurglesGift. I'm hoping that you guys found it approachable for a Friday morning. Let me know down in the comments how you got on. And see you back for the next video. Bye-bye for now.